recently announced huge structural changes in order to reorient his forces for future near-peer competition, meaning China. And this same China has not bombed anybody in the last 40 years. My questions to the expert panels, I have three questions. The first one, when exactly did the US decide that China was a threat to its financial supremacy? Number two, how far do you think the US and NATO are prepared to go in their efforts of containment of China? And three, given the reality that China is the EU's biggest trade partner, how much of the anti-China rhetoric coming from certain EU quarters is real and how much is performance? It was mentioned that China have multiplied their defence spend by 8 times in the last 20 years. But given that they have 4 times more people than the US, they are still only 1/3 of the US spend. And if you study what the Chinese are spending their money on, you would have to agree that their policy has been one of defence rather than offence. Thank you very much.
Many of you have said, Mr. Wallace in particular, has said that before all China wanted to do was to actually reach parity. A country that was perhaps backwards in the past and which was trying to actually reach parity, but at the same time they're developing a language saying that the smaller countries have got to respect the larger countries, and this is something which we hear a lot from the Foreign Affairs Ministry or from diplomats in China. They're not threatening to deploy weapons first, but many of our diplomats from Sweden and elsewhere have actually said that they are not sure whether this is going to hold true. They say that for our enemies we have weapons. So I think that we've got to see this in the military context. I think we should be careful about actually using the past arguments to try and predict what's happening in the future. There is a change, a real change in Chinese leadership, and that they are expressing we do hear these anti-militarist comments from you in Europe, but I'd actually invite you to watch Chinese TV now and again, and you'll see the intensity, the permanent military propaganda in China, which is pro-military.